There we go. Now we're recording. Thanks, Yasmin. But no. So the debrief from Dominican, and I don't see why all 6 people on this call shouldn't be there next year. Whether it's probably be like Turks and Caicos or something like that. But they have some awesome trips, awesome things set up for us. But kind of what we were talking about before I started to hit record was just school by the pool, where Dr. A wasn't around because Lori had passed. So all the other leaders stepped up and we all just kind of had conversations. But a lot of what we talk about is sponsoring up. To tell you the honest truth, if people are asking, what do you look for in a health coach? My answer is anyone with $200, because I know what this has done for my life, and I know what this could do for anybody's life. Jeff, did you ever think, I mean, you could just shake your head. Did you ever think you'd be where you're at in this business just with the little effort that you put in so far? I know the goals that you have set, because we just got off the phone, but I know the goals that you have set. Can you get shorts? No. But something else that we always want to look at is we talk about goals. 2 weeks ago, I think we talked about structural tension. We constantly need to be updating our goals. As we get to our goal, if we're not updating our goal or figuring out a new goal, then we're going to be complacent and stuck where we're at. Me and Michelle have gone through this, right? So the idea that a lot of people had talked about by the pool, Lindsay and Jeremy, I believe is his name. Lindsay left Beachbody. I'll tell her story. She doesn't tell her story when she says Beachbody. Lindsay had about 2,800 coaches below her. I think she was in the top 50 or 75 people in Beachbody. She was making $21,000 a month. Her husband lost weight in Optavia. He started his own business. And there was a difference of opinion, I guess. Well, they suspended her for 7 weeks with no pay, but she watched over the first 2 months how her husband made some money. No, the red ones are better. But she watched how her husband had made money quickly. You know, when with her 2,800 coaches, she watched that they weren't making a whole bunch of money. And she walked away from a $21,000 a month business with Beachbody to do this. It's taken her a little less than a year to build that up here. So I thought me and Michelle were doing all right. I mean, after 2 years, I mean, she's blown us out of the water. And I won't just say she, because she and he do this together. What they kind of coached us on, which we are all, I mean, coaches, right? I mean, we all have teams. The idea is to really keep the dream and those goals alive in your, oh, you're not sitting in the spot too? But I guess not. Whatever, she may not be muted. But the idea is to keep those dreams and goals alive in your coach's mind. To have those weekly calls, or you know, the 3 times a month going through the map. The idea is really to not let everyone get complacent, because all of us have gotten complacent at a certain time. You know, I know Yasmin, Christina, Lisa, John, I mean, Jeff, Gabe, we've all gotten to our goal. We didn't have new goals because that was my fault, not getting you on the phone to set those new goals. We really need to do map calls with our teams. Believe it or not, those map calls are a way to help motivate your team as well. And the things that people were saying about, I mean, things as small as the map, where your coach realizes where they're at, where they finished the month, and then they say where they want to be at the top. And then you piece all the stuff in between on who would be a good coach, who, you know, what client orders you still have going in. But really getting your team to dream, just like the initial welcome to health coaching call. You know, what do you want out of coaching? Is there a dollar value? Is it to help people? You know, the idea behind that is really to get them thinking about that bigger life. Something Michelle really took away from is Tia Wood was talking about on Facebook. I'm not selling a weight loss program. Tia Wood sells a different life, because there are going to be a lot of people that don't need to lose weight, that have huge followings, people that can make great health coaches, people that, I mean, maybe like me, that worked 40 to 60 hours and had a 25-hour-a-week commute, stuff like that, people that can see this as something different. The way that we are really, really going to grow our business is bringing on those coaching partners, where it's not necessarily talking to people saying, hey, do you want to coach? Hey, do you want to coach? Because everyone has their concept of what coaching is. Oh, no, that's not for me. So when we're talking to people, asking them, hey, you know, I think you'd make a great coach, or even clients, you know, we dropped a few lines in there about, oh, wow, you're just like a coach. I saw you help someone out in Journey to Health. So our focus has changed a lot from client acquisition to coach acquisition. You know, even if someone has 0 pounds to lose, I'm going to want to see what, you know, I'm going to want them to see what it's like to get into fat burn. So I'm going to want them to hop on program for 2 or 3 months, or two or 3 weeks, sorry. But the idea with that is they understand fat burn. They have that big network that they can go talk about how that energy is, how that sleep is. At the same time, it's not necessarily a weight loss program. We're talking to people about what a bigger life could look like for them. I told Jeff earlier today, I mean, I was motivated by money. Somebody said, Justin makes this, Jamil makes this. My first call with Justin was, how do I make the money you're making? I hated my commute. I hated babysitting people at work. And I never really got to see Michelle or Deegan. You know, I mean, I saw more of Deegan than Michelle, but she'd pass him off to me as she was going to work and I was coming from work. So I looked at this as a replacement for my income. But there's so many people out there that really aren't happy with their jobs. I mean, I know Christina just quit her job. You're finally done, right? Yeah. So Christina was able to more than, I mean, and you probably, you know, tripled your income at certain months. But Christina's able to be a full-time health coach. You know, Jeff's going to be retiring here in 3 to 4 years, or what, 4.5 years. Jeff protects and serves. He's got a great job and a great retirement. But the idea with, hey, I can work over the next 2 years and build something that will carry itself into my retirement. So we all have goals. What I want to challenge everyone to do on this call is to write your goals down. Put them on paper. You know, maybe not paper. If you have a dry erase marker, write them on your bathroom mirror. Put them somewhere that you're going to look at them in the morning and before you go to bed. Because if we're not visualizing, if we're not looking at our goals regularly, then we start to forget about them. You know, if we're not doing the same thing with our team, with our coaches, there's no way that our coaches are going to grow. Everyone's going to become complacent. Not necessarily everybody's lazy. There are a lot of people with a lot of drive. But a lot of people come into this with the employee mindset, with, all right, what do I do next? And that's where I came in with Justin. What do I do next? And Justin never told me what to do. He said, well, I suggest doing this. And I said, all right, I did that. Where do I go next? All right, I did that. Where do I go next? I had drive behind me because my goals were written on my bathroom mirror. I had some explicit words, and it said my commute right after that. And then, I said, I want to get out of this. I want to be a dad. Speaking of being a dad, all this stuff is all wrapped up. But my whole idea was I found something else to replace what I have. So we really need to, not only as ourselves, but with our coaches as well. We really need to get them dreaming again, because a lot of people by the pool were talking about how how their job was almost, no, I'm not a weight loss coach, I'm not a life coach, I'm almost, they kept saying hope dealer, because I'm giving hope to all of my clients, and I'm giving hope to all of my coaches. So really engaging with them. And almost every time we're on the phone with them, we need to bring up their goals and what they want. Because if we're not going to remind them, if they don't already have it written down, if it's not in front of them daily, people are going to start forgetting. Something else that people talked about were setting dates to your goals. Because, like I was talking to Jeff earlier today, oh, I'm going to do this tomorrow. Well, then tomorrow comes, he's like, oh, I'm going to do it tomorrow. Tomorrow comes, oh, I'm going to do it tomorrow. So really being able to get started on whatever we're doing today is usually the best time to do it, because we're always going to put things off. As far as dates to different things go, Christina's my prime example. Jeff's the worst, but no, but Christina can be my prime example to goals. She says credit cards paid off by this date, cars paid off by this date. She set everything up there, and then she reverse engineered it. Said, all right, cool. And I don't know what she owed in credit card bills, but let's say I owe 10 grand, and they're going to be paid off in 8 months. So I need to pay this each month to be able to get there. And I think she even paid it off a month early or something like that. So really understanding our goals is something big that we talked about, and getting your coaches to dream. The only way that we are really, really going to grow, because our front line can only hit so much, right? And yes, at this point, for the most part, besides maybe Gabe, the majority of your money is coming from your front line. But as you start to actually build a team, you're going to realize, look at Terry Miller, right? Terry Miller makes what, about $300,000 a month? How much of that do you think comes from her front line? Maybe $5,000 if she carries a $15,000 front line. Her idea was, I'm a good coach. Turn it back on. All right, whatever. We're going to do it in the dark. Oh, children. Gabe, can we get Daddy Daycare over here and you can whip them in line? Gabe's got the best children out there. But no, so the idea that Terry had was, okay, I'm an average health coach, but I can teach so many people to be exceptional health coaches. So she's really good at teaching people how to help others. Her business is one of the biggest in Optavia. And her entire line with Doug Wood, Dan Valentine, Carol Hips, they do a really good job of teaching the next level down. And like I said, Doug said his biggest thing is he wants to walk away from a leg of his business because he wants that leg to be self-sufficient. So a lot of what we need to probably do as a team, not only be more engaged, right, with welcoming people, congratulating people, stuff like that. But we also need to really work with our celebration calls all the way down. We need to, and we're going to develop a plan that we're going to probably roll out Team Fraser wide on how to talk to people check-in wise. Everyone's pretty good with sharing the trilogy. But the real idea that we're all, and I'm not saying everyone has to bring on coaches, right? There are people that are happy coaching clients. But I think the majority of the people on this call really want to build big businesses, right? John, shake your head at least. Yeah, there you go. So what me and Michelle are going to do over the next couple of months, obviously, oh, come off, the muted video for that one, Andrew. Right, let's shake our head. So me and Michelle are going to make ourselves completely available, where we want to see you guys grow. I know what Justin gave us when we started and what we were able to do with our business. But me and Michelle want to be there 100% for anything that you guys want. I know Christina always schedules the weird times, and she's the only one that gets her calls rescheduled. But no, we want to work with a group of coaches, people that want to hit ED, people that want to go beyond it. We can all get to ED by ourselves. Once we actually bring on coaching partners, that's the only way to grow any further from ED. Once we help people with the financial part of this. So me and Michelle want to be around to really help you guys grow your business. I think just about everyone on this call has hit ED or become close to ED, except for maybe one or two of you. But there is potential, even for your teams. We're going to we already had started a group for people that want to hit ED in May. I want to add all of you guys to that group. If that's cool, message me, let me know. No one has to be called out right here. But whether it be you guys or your team members, we're going in there with daily actions. But I really want, people to be I guess present. Right now, Andrew and Cindy are the two present ones in the group. But I know what everybody wants, and it's as easy as posting on Facebook, following up with comments, thanking the likes, doing our 2 or 3 phone calls a day to tell people what we're doing and have them spread the word. So a lot of what we talked about by the pool was getting our coaches engaged, following the systems, and really helping people dream. So with that said, I know I said we keep this one short, so maybe 15 minutes. Does anyone want to kind of throw out some of the goals they have? I mean, I'm expecting everyone in here to write their goals down somewhere that they can look at. I'll just pick on the person I always pick on. So you can go ahead. All right, you know who you are. Go ahead, and let's talk about what your goals are.
For me.
Yeah, of course. Who else do I pick on?
Let me go to my page that I have it.
Talk to me about your 30, 60, 90-day goals. And I want everyone to set kind of 30, 60, 90-day goals.
Do that. My 30-day goals, and part of the reason why you guys know that you write down goals is so the universe hears it. Right.
And Neptune and Pluto align in your goals.
And so that the universe hears it. So I did do a manifesting exercise. So I do I have to get back to ED by the end of the month. There's if, ands, or buts about it. So that's 30 days. I want to help my coach Tanya hit at least senior coach by the end of the month. I want to bring on at least one more coach this month. And then I have at an event next week at the Bonita School District. So my coach and I invested $500 to be part of this PTA thing. And every time the PTA has an event, we can go and display our Optavia stuff. And then we'll have a little billboard thing on the side of the school that says Optavia, and then it's my name and her name underneath it. That was the biggest little thing, was the little plaque that we get. So within that, I've reached out to somebody, poster boards for me, because the Optavia ones are $130. I just invested $500. So, but after going over there, this company makes signs and stuff like that. So after going there and talking to all the boys every day, they're like, hey, yes, so can we do program? I'm like, sure. So there's at least 10 dudes there that need program really bad. So 2 of them are on board. So one of them, at least 3 of them would be really, really good coaches. Actually, they would all be really good coaches, but at least 3 of them would be really good coaches. So.
Okay, so tell me this. I know you're talking about your business goals, but what are your personal and life goals? Because I was talking about, Christina said, I want to pay off credit cards. I want to pay off cars. I want, to pay off student loans, and those can wait. But what kind of goals are going to mean something to you? I mean, I know you just got a new car.
I did.
But those are the goals that we want to look at in the mirror.
Okay.
I want to pay off this credit card because that means what to you? I want to pay off this bill. I want to get my kids this. It doesn't all necessarily have to be money driven, but goals of things. I want an extra hour a week with my kids, from work. Or talk to me about like those type of goals. Those are the goals that we're to put down on paper or on that whiteboard.
Okay, so I want to
I'm gonna go turn the light on. I'm still
I want to so I want to pay current debt, which is it's about 14,000. So it's credit cards and like student loans. So I want to pay that off. While doing that, that'll help raise my credit score, which I've been working on real hard lately. Because in 2 years, I want to buy a house. So October 9th, 2020, I want to buy a house. I'm a single mom. I'm a single person. So no easy feat for me. I'm also going to need
a sugar daddy.
No, I'm trying to do it by myself.
No, but guys,
I'm also going to need like a big down payment, so that's something else. And I want to buy a house in freaking Laverne, which is going to be.
But this is what I'm talking about when we talk about goals.
Yeah.
Big goals that we have dates to. I mean,
by December, I want to pay off the 14,000.
So we can look at that $14,000. Mm-hmm. She has a day job, but what can she do with Optavia? Let's say $14,000 in 7 months. I don't even know what month it is. Yeah, 7 months, 6.5 months. So that means that she needs to be at what, $2,300 a month through Optavia if she's going to use all of her Optavia money to pay for that.
That's what it's going to be.
So if we know that we need 17.6 clients with full orders to be at ED, and that's at about 2,100 with your 300 or your $1,000 a month or a quarter bonus. So she can look at that. So, all right, how do I hit ED? I know most people make 5 calls a day to get the word out. They post on Facebook this many times. They follow up with people. They have, a line of people set up. So you can literally sit down and reverse engineer what you need to do by that date.
Can we bump it up to 25?
2,500?
No, 25,000.
Oh, well, you got more stuff?
I want to have my mommy makeover this year. Like, I want it this year. And Optavia is going to be the way to freaking do it. So can we bump it up to 25?
You tell me. Can you bump it up? What do you know what you have to do, right?
Yeah.
If we know that we can make this off of 5 calls a day, getting the word out, posting this many times. What do you think you need to do? Yes.
I need to make like 10 phone calls a day.
Perfect. So why not double that? And by getting the word out, by sending the emails out, by putting people in your connections email, by posting on Facebook, by having your follow-up Friday, exactly the steps that you need to do to get there.
Yeah.
But what we need to switch up is where we're starting to go with our team is making sure that we're sharing that full trilogy from the beginning. Because you can grow a big front line and that can go up and go down. But as we bring on coaching partners, our teams are only going to build. I mean, we brought on Gabe and Shelly. I mean, I sat in the backyard and I don't know, Gabe, did we barbecue? But Gabe was like, oh, what's this pyramid scheme you guys are doing? And, Shelly's bought in and we sat and just talked. And from that, we talked about how bringing on coaching partners is how you're really going to build your business. And they've done a great job. But yeah, thanks for sharing. Yes, I love definitely love your goals. I love how specific you are. And that's why I called on you first.
I know.
Because I mean, I still have your goals, with different goals
Yeah.
that you've already passed, posted on my whiteboard in the laundry room.
My mommy makeover was still one of those. So.
Yeah, it was, but there were some other ones on there too. Aguilar.
Hello.
So now that you've reached your goals, have you set new goals?
Well, we've always kind of had bigger goals in mind already, but those are like long-term ones. So
I know the house and the student loans.
Yeah. So those ones, I don't have them in front of me, but I have them written down, like dates of when we want to pay those off. A goal that we are still working on is to get Robert's twin on, like, basically healthy, because he's in the exact same spot and getting worse and worse. So that's a big goal of ours. But yeah, it's mainly like our long-term ones are just having family vacations once every summer.
Where's the next vacation?
The what?
Where's the next vacation?
We were trying to do Hawaii, but I think we're going to postpone it because our debt is more important to us right now. So we're trying to just get all that killed off, and then we'll do Hawaii.
Okay.
So we were planning to do it in July, but we want to pay off the debt. So we're hoping to do it by November, December. But then things might change because we're thinking of bringing a foreign exchange student into our house. So we're now at a position where we can kind of give to others, and we feel like that's kind of a cool opportunity to kind of learn other cultures. And now that we have this, we can kind of do that as well.
Well, if I were you, I'd look for foreign exchange students from like Singapore and Hong Kong. I read Gabe's looks just now, but yeah, Singapore and Hong Kong. Those are great places to bring foreign exchange students from.
I know. That was on my mind too.
I like that. I mean, at least a few of us are thinking the same way. But, if you haven't noticed, Andrew, Lisa, John, Jeff, we just expanded internationally in Singapore and Hong Kong. So we're looking at coaching partners out there. So if you guys know anyone in Singapore or Hong Kong, now is the time really to bring them on and talk to them about, this new kind of how we're going to take over the world. So, but I know there's some big markets out there too. So, all right. So vacations, your debt. Are you constantly thinking of new things? I mean, not necessarily things. I mean, I know, I bought a lot of junk from Michelle recently, but that also is to show people what's possible through coaching.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, for me, it's more about experiences.
Yep.
As far as like, we want to do family trips. The little things for me is I want to get a Disneyland pass so I can take my daughter.
You'll never make that much money with coaching.
I know.
Are you kidding me?
Still working on that one.
Michelle took Deegan to Disneyland until he was like 4, and she'd like tuck his legs up in the stroller. He'd be like, "I'm 2." So yeah, but
so it's just things like that.
Okay, cool. Are you going on next year's rewards trip?
I hope. That's the goal. That's one goal.
Not with that attitude, you won't. Are you going on next year's rewards trip?
Yes, I am.
Okay, good. And I know we all don't like to leave our kids. So I figured next year, I mean, besides Gabe and Shelly, they have like 19 kids. But the idea would be we all go on this rewards trip, maybe bring a babysitter or 2 with us, and we could all bring the kids. Because I know Deegan would have had the time of his life if he was out there with us. So that's something that's I mean, me and Michelle are going for sure, but I want to bring a whole bunch of people with us. Same with convention. Who's going to convention? Lisa, John? I'll call you out right now. But yeah, no, so the idea with convention, it's to give you kind of a whole different perspective. You have Team Fraser, you have Michelle and Josh that are giving you, all your trainings. Well, I guess the trainings are a little different now. But at convention, When you get Dr. A, you have all the top leaders of the company that are really teaching you to be as successful as possible. So convention's always great. It's not necessarily hoorah, hoorah, you get a car, you get a car. You know, it's not one of those type events, but it's really people talking about the lives that they're changing, and you really get kind of an idea of the bigger picture. So I'd suggest if we're not able to go, you know, if we're able to move some things around, then let's look into convention. I think me and Michelle are even possibly, I haven't talked to her, but I think we're in like a VRBO, one of those big houses or something like that, right around the corner. So yeah, but cool, Christina. I love that you're sharing. Obviously, I know you've been pretty successful in a short period of time, and you've been able to change your life. So I'm stoked that I've watched you guys from that table over there, you know, thinking, hey, I might do program, I might not. Is this too much money? But yeah, I'd love to see your guys' life change. So now that he's home, we can bring on the super coach, number 2. Gabe.
Okay, you're talking about me. Okay, I wasn't sure. Hey, Josh, before I do anything, I was given this, and I think it's really cool, but what the heck is that?
It's probably a winning team right now. I mean, aren't you like the second worst team in baseball behind the Phillies?
Whatever. We're made for October and September.
You can't even play without Seager and Kershaw.
Hey, would you want that?
I don't know. Are you trying to sell it to me?
No, stupid.
Yeah, I'm on my way in just a minute.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about you guys, Gabe.
Okay, so we kind of like everything you kind of talked about, just all just really hit home. We started to like really get into our head about our front line had started dropping, but then when you guys had mentioned like that's kind of what happens because we've been focusing so much on building up the coaches. So obviously at the same time we obviously want to create keep that the client part going, but again our focus, especially right now with that incentive, like, you've got to jump on it. You know, that's just extra money.
Can you tell us a little more about the incentive?
The incentive is any new coach you sponsor, starting 3 month consecutive. So starting this month, so any new coach that you bring on, starting, I guess they start in May, then you have May, June, and July, and you could earn up to, I believe it's 9% additional over the next 3 months. So as long as you have a 600 frontline volume minimum, and then it goes up to 1,200, and then.
So for everyone on this call, pretty much does 3,600 volume.
Yeah.
Every new coach that you bring on, you're going to get 9% of everything they do. You're not taking anything away from them, but every new coach that you bring on over the next 3 months, you're going to get 9% of everything they do.
Yeah.
So let's say you bring on a rock star like Gabe and Shelly, you're going to get 9% of everything that they do. Not taking away from them either. And I got to look at it again, but from what I read, if you bring someone on in July, you're still going to get paid July, August, September.
Yeah, no, that is correct. It will go on from it's the next 3 months, but it'll start from and as of July. So July, you'll have July, August, and September.
So, and that's huge because the company already pays us really well to do what we do. But let's say you bring on someone that does, $6,000 a month. You're going to get an extra almost $600 every month, for the next 3 months for each one of those coaches.
Yeah. So once we saw that, and then that really just kind of motivated us a little bit more because today Shelly was actually able to pay off the last of our $25,000 credit card. That was the credit card we used to live on that was going to retire me with the other thing that, you know which one I'm talking about.
Yeah.
But she just paid that off today. So the last payment was $14,000. So she just literally paid off $14,000 a couple hours ago.
Yeah, because you guys had a good month last month, right?
Yeah, we had a really good month, and it's exciting where we're going. As far as like short-term goals, we've really started to. Yesterday, we just spent $3,000 buying bedroom furniture for our kids. You know, they've had the same furniture since Joshua was born, and it's going on 12 years. So it was really nice to be able just to go spend that money and on something that, you know, obviously was the furniture good? Sure. You know, it could have lasted a little bit more, but, you know, we're in a position where we actually could do it, you know, and it feels really nice. Actually, I haven't even gone upstairs to see it yet, but I'm excited just to see that. We're
What, did Shelly put it together?
No, we had them do it.
Oh,
yeah.
God, rich people.
Yeah, no, but just as far as our short-term goals, a lot of it's being focused right now on our home because we've really neglected this place for the past, you know, almost 5 years. So we have a lot of things. We have people coming out next week to give us estimates on putting in a pool in, so we can really find out what that's going to cost, and then we can start reverse engineering and figuring out, you know, what that's going to take. You know, because we've already have an idea it's going to be over 40 grand to do that. But we're doing a lot of improvements at home. By summertime is when we would like to have at least start the groundbreaking. So that's within, you know, the next 60, 90 days is what we'd like to start to see happen as that pool start going in.
So he'd like everyone to go over there with a couple shovels. That way he could save on labor costs.
Yeah. But those are some of just the initial ones. You know, one of the things you talked about dreaming, it wasn't just about our dreams right now. We've really focused on our kids' dreams. So we have 3 vacations, one that we'll be doing next year. We haven't set a time on it, but our 2 youngest kids, one wants to go to Chicago and my daughter wants to go to New York. So we're going to try to make those happen within the next, you know, by July. We're still looking at our schedules to figure out what's going to happen because we're going to be busy with convention because we're going to convention. And we rented a big house. And we have some of our coaches already coming who've already committed. So we're just really pushing that because what it did for us last year, like I had no idea. I mean, we were baby coaches when we first went to convention, but just coming back and the momentum that we picked up from those couple days, we hit ED, like just bam, like it just happened. And it really started to come together. So again, if you haven't registered for convention, you can't plug in enough. It's definitely worth it. You just leave so much more focused and that you just relight that flame. So I recently also was just I only work 4 days a week now. So I'm Tuesday through Friday. So I have Mondays off. So my personal goal is going to be Mondays being my follow-up Mondays. So Mondays is going to be my day where I'm going to be the most active because Shelly's been doing this all by herself. I do help out, you know, when I can, but my focus, I have that time. I can really, you know, make a big impact and really start focusing on. I love what you said earlier about whoever has $200 in their pocket. Like that just made sense because I have so many people that say I can't afford it, you know, but you know that what it would do for them financially. I mean, the health-wise, that's a given. It's going to happen. But what those finances can represent, you can't put $200. Are you stupid? Like really, $200. That's gonna change your life. And
it's a guaranteed $200 investment because it doesn't matter how much you make.
And every day I get people like.
Wait, did I freeze or did he?
Yeah, I froze. Sorry.
No, I was just gonna say it's a guaranteed $200.
I have just a lot. Yeah, and we have a lot of people that say, man, you guys are always out of town. You guys are always doing something. And you know, and we're living out loud, and people are not necessarily the health part of it, but they're starting to look at like, wow, how are you guys financially able to do that? You know, and I think those are the people we're going to start focusing on a lot more because, you know, the health part, you know, it's going to happen, but, you know, it just really listening to those likes and those comments and just really following up because there's so many people that want, are we in a position where we want to be? We're not there yet, but we're definitely heading on the right track. So just those, and everyone's watching. You have so many people that just keep saying like, dude, where are you guys at? Must be nice. Like, yeah, it is really nice. You know, become a health coach. I'm sick of telling you.
I love it. Thanks, Gabe.
Yeah.
No, that's awesome. And he talks about living out loud and thanking those likes. Dude, it's thanking the likes on our private posts too. Maybe Michelle and her and Deegan doing something or making a face. hey, thanks for liking my post. Like, we had such an awesome time today. What are you up to? Starting authentic conversations with people is really where you start. I know, whatever, with Michelle's new car and her new purse and her new rims and things like, people are starting to come to me saying like, all right, bro, what are you really doing with this coaching thing? Are you smuggling drugs places, or, what's happening? But so people that I've talked to for years that I haven't pressed upon, I've just been in contact with, are really starting to notice, like, all right, this coaching thing might be legit. Like, what is it? So really living out loud, not necessarily flaunting things, but living out loud when you have time with your kids at the park. Because a lot of people are time poor, right? A lot of them are money poor too, but time poor is where I see most people. Jeff, do you want to come off and kind of talk about your goals? I know we had a long talk today, and we're still working on goals and stuff like that, but kind of share with the group a little bit about kind of where you want to be.
Yeah. Have you unmuted me? Okay, there we are.
You unmuted yourself, so you're good.
Okay. All right. Just checking. So first off, I think that you need to make more money, Josh, just so you can afford the remodel that your kid is doing on the house. I'm sitting here cracking up every time I hear the house sound like it's being destroyed. But I can tell you one of my first goals is to write down my goals. That's one of my first goals. So I am working on that. But I think, personal goals, non-financial, I'd like to have a six-pack. It's something I've always wanted. It's something I'd like to have by December. I'd also like to run a half marathon. And this is just for my own benefit, to look better, feel better, be more proud, more accomplished of where I've gone and that journey. But kind of some short-term goals are to bring on, I'd like to bring on 3 more coaches within the next 30 days. I'd like to have 5 senior coaches within the next 60 to 90 days. I'm not quite sure on that timeline yet. I'd like to eventually get myself to where I'm making $5,000 a month. I'm pretty close to that now. I have been, but like we talked about earlier, I've kind of let that slip here recently. I've kind of let things go and procrastinate a lot of things out. But I definitely want to pay off my student loan, $27,000. I don't know what that time frame is going to be. I think I could accomplish that if I stay on top of what I've been doing, and if I get back to how I was going, I think I could accomplish that in a year without any issue. And I want to buy a motorhome. I find that we have a hard time just planning a vacation, getting the family, getting on a plane and going. We've talked about it. And if I got a motorhome, that family vacation could literally just be on my 3 to 4 days off, driving it down to the beach and spending that 3 or 4 days there on the beach. So those are kind of my short-term goals. And I really need to sit down and kind of calculate this out, write it down. And I think I'm going to go get myself a dry erase marker and I'm going to put it on my mirror. So anything you want to add to that?
No, well, looking at your goals is the only way to keep them front and center in your mind, right? Because if our goals are going to take 30, 60, 90 days to reach, then we start to kind of forget about them, right? Mm-hmm. Jeff, you were on fire. Your idea was, I'm going to do this to be selfish because I want to help my mom and I want to keep my weight off. And those were your goals. Mom's stubborn, right? Mm-hmm. But you're keeping your weight off, which is the other goal. But then you kind of open your eyes to what this could bring. So
and real quick, one of my other goals was to have enough money to take my family on vacation. I've actually accomplished that, and I've transitioned some of that money somewhere else. But I already made that goal. I can cross it off the list, although half of it is I actually need to take them on vacation. But
isn't the family going to St. Louis coming up soon?
No.
Oh.
I think it's just going to be me. I'd like them to go, but there's just too many things that came up on a personal level that I don't think we're going to be able to make it.
Gotcha. Cool. Good stuff. I'm proud of you too, dude. You're definitely killing it. So, all right. Which one of you guys do I want to pick? Well, only because the good-looking one's here. We'll go with Cindy until Andrew jumps in. Now, Cindy, talk to me a little bit about your goals. Have you guys set goals? I mean, I know you had things that you wanted to do.
Yeah, actually, I'm pretty excited because we'll be actually completing our first goal this week, which is paying off one of our student loans. So check mark there. Hopefully that'll be done tomorrow. Funds to transfer in the account. And then the next one will be to tackle our next credit card. So we kind of have a list of things that we want to pay off. The first one being my student loan, and then the next two are two of our credit cards. And it's just going to be that snowball effect of paying our bills off, honestly.
Nice.
So pretty stoked that we get to actually cross one off the list tomorrow.
Nice. I'm excited. And that's what the best part about having it written on your mirror on an actual piece of paper, because you can watch them as you cross them out. I know Christina did that, and she's like, boom, boom, boom. So
Totally. Yeah, and I think what's been fun this week, at least for actually both of us, is that we've had people follow up with us before we've even followed up with them. So it kind of proves that it works, because things that we, the seeds we planted are actually reaching back out to us after they've kind of followed the Facebook page and kind of seen everyone's posts and success stories on there. So we're just keep planting those seeds.
yeah, they say that the work that you do today is going to pay off in a month or two. So you're going to notice, I mean, that big funnel that we talked about, Andrew, you're throwing all those people in there. Only a few can fit down that tube. So you guys are definitely kicking butt. So I love it. Andrew, anything you want to throw out there?
Well, we're talking about goals.
Yeah, I told him I got to pay off my first student loan.
Yeah, I mean, just to be able to have the money to do that, that's huge for us. And we have a lot of debt to pay. And so that's really our main focus. That's for our family goals, to kind of get back right financially.
Nice.
Buffer. Yeah. And then, take care of that and then build some other goals.
Yeah, and you got to make sure that you can consistently build those goals. Oh, and by the way, we're sending Eugenia and Deegan and Michelle to Argentina for Mother's Day. Well, Eugenia just picks the week that she wants to go. So yeah. So yeah, but no, yeah, I know that we're family, so I want to throw that out there. But,
Yeah, that's awesome.
yeah. And lastly, but certainly least, Lisa and John, you got to talk too. I mean, unless you're too, tired from the spa.
Daddy, can you take a picture? John doesn't know how to unmute. Sorry.
Yeah, well, I know he's just all good looks and brawn. So talk to me about your guys' goals, because I know the kind of where you're at right now and where you could be, but talk to me about where you want to be.
I think for me, like what I see as our first goal together would be if we could be making a steady income of, upward $2,000 to $2,500, we could have our debt paid off by the end of the year, because all of that money would go toward debt. So that would be like my number one goal. And after that, it would be like just saving money to buy a house. Those are my goals. What about you?
I want to go on vacation with Jeff. That motorhome thing sounds pretty good. I know that Lisa and I have always talked about like wanting a trailer. Same deal, man. Just, pull up to a campsite there on the beach. Do what you want, work your business. I don't like crowds. So the fact that if we go do that, Monday through Thursday or Tuesday through Friday, it's like, man, how great is that? Just having that luxury of not having to, answer to the man, I guess people would say.
Well, I still do that.
Well, I mean, that's fine. That's my goal. It's my turn.
All
right. But yeah, I mean, just getting that debt down, I think everybody can just relate, whatever it is, whether it's credit cards, car payments, house payments, whatever, just to get it down, because it makes it more manageable, each month to redirect that money to, doing things that you enjoy, or the goals that you have set. to buy those things, or whatever it is. So yeah, I know that we just as far as like short-term goals, we're just doing what we can, trying to bring on X amount of people each month, just reaching out to people and talking to them. I was kind of telling Lisa, like, the first 4 months that we became coaches, we really didn't take it seriously. And it wasn't till like after Big Bear that we started kind of taking things more seriously.
It was like 6 months.
Well, whatever. But I was giving me the benefit of the doubt. But, just the fact that it's like we're kind of starting to see results from, like Josh was just saying, a couple months ago. People, oh yeah, I've been following your post. I love seeing that. It looks like you're being so positive, and looks like all you're doing is having fun. You're living out loud, and so it's kind of cool because I can't tell you how many times we hear everybody reiterate, you never know who's watching, you never know who's paying attention. I've never really reached out to my parents. I mean, they know what I do, but I've never, oh yeah, you guys need this, let's get you started, and just, all right, whatever, this is what we do. And we have mutual friends. They see the stuff on Facebook, and on Mother's Day, we had them over here, and my mom's bringing up the program to us, and saying that she thinks she's just about ready to start. And I'm like, cool, man, I'm right on, whenever you're ready. And you get that a lot of times, when you do reach out to people, when you do make those calls. So for us, it's, I think a good goal for us is definitely, as simple as being more consistent.
Yeah, like following the steps for sure.
Right.
We're so inconsistent.
Right. I mean, if I had to give myself a grade on the 3x3x3 or the 5x5x5, what, that's A for effort, Josh? Is that what that is?
That was F for effort.
But it's like, I mean, I'm like 50%. I do half of the steps, and I think I was
and a lot of John gets ready to get ready to get ready to get ready.
Yep.
John has the people that he's looking for. Well, just like his mom right there, and that's where we can finish this with. Our job is to let everyone know what we do, because if you're talking to people all the time, that's going to be a whole lot. If you get other people going out there to find other people for you, that's the idea. They say everyone knows 600 people by first name. I don't want access to my 600 people. I want all 600 of those people out there talking to their 600 people, because I want them to keep their ears and eyes open to, my mom was just diagnosed diabetic, or I'd like to fit into that swimsuit, or that, and I'd like to have branded myself as a health coach, and everybody to say, bro, go talk to Josh. He can help you. But that's how we carry ourselves on social media and with the conversations we have. Even when I was president of a publishing company, whenever anyone asks, what do you do? I'm a health coach. What is that? I own a business. I help people lose weight, come off weight-related meds. It's really awesome. Well, during the day, I run a publishing company, but that's not where my heart is. But John, just like Andrew for a little while, just like Shelly for a little while, just like Yasmin for a little while, just like Jeff, got ready to get ready to get ready to get ready. Because we didn't know what we were going to say, how we were going to do it, all that stuff. But then, John, when you made your first call, did you die?
Did I do what?
Did you die after your first call?
No, I mean, I almost did. No.
No, but yeah, so we all have the ability to be very successful in this.
Right.
And you guys are all awesome. but I'm going to stop recording. I had to